All seen basically the same health and safety information at this point regarding the coronavirus. So Travis, why are some people following that advice and others seemingly ignoring it?
Yeah, and politics is the first answer, but let's set politics aside and try to look for some common ground, if we can. So there's this theory, and it's called the protection motivation theory, and I want to talk about it because Auburn University professor Brian Connolly is kind of breaking it down pretty easily for folks to understand, and I think it might help, maybe bring some empathy to all of this. Here are the 4 questions that this theory says we all sort of ask in our mind before we leave the house in the midst of all of this. The first, how likely is it I get the disease? If I get it, how bad will it be? Does protection work? What are the costs of protecting me? Maybe not financial, but like intangible costs as well. So, we do this mental calculus and we answer these questions. And meanwhile, we probably are arriving at different answers than our neighbors or our friends or our family members, etc. But the professor says the key here is even if we end in a different place, we have to remember that we start with these same 4 basic questions.
Understand that this is not a personal attack. They're just going through the same mental calculus that everyone is going through and arriving at a little bit different answers.
Right, so if you think about that, and if we're all starting with the same questions and we're all trying to do the same math for ourselves, then maybe you could have a little more empathy for people who maybe are making different decisions than we are and coming to a different answer when they come, look at those 4 questions than we are. That's not to discount health advice, expert advice, doctor's advice, etc. It's just to sort of say, look at your neighbor and think we both start in the same place each morning and we each have to make our own decisions about how we leave the house or don't leave the house. And maybe we're more alike than maybe we are different.
I love that too. And you also kind of compared it to some of the parent shaming we see sometimes on social media.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think it's kind of the same thing. If we're starting in the same place, even if we're ending in a different place, knowing that we sort of start in the same place, maybe we can respect each other more.
I think that is a good place to start, Travis. Thank you. Thanks for joining us here. We'll see you bright and early once again tomorrow, starting at 4:30.